A script is a way to run InDesign without you, the human, having to do all the work. And you know my basic philosophy. If I can reduce the amount of work that I have to do, well, I'm all for it. There are dozens, probably hundreds of scripts floating around on the internet that you can use, and I'll talk about a few of the coolest free ones in the next movie. But before we go there, I just want to talk about how to install scripts and then run them. On the Mac, you can install scripts in one of two places. Inside the Applications folder, you go inside InDesign and there's a folder called Scripts. I'll show you that in just a minute. Or you can install them inside your personal user folder. You go inside Library and Preferences, and then inside Adobe InDesign, just follow the path that's there on your screen. In Windows, you can put it in one of three places, depending on which version of Windows you're using. Just follow the paths there on your screen. Let me show you a real live example of this. I'm running on a Macintosh, so I'll switch to the Finder, and I'm going to look inside the InDesign folder. This is inside the Application folder, and inside the Adobe InDesign folder, there's a folder called Scripts. I'll open that folder, and we can see there's a number of folders inside of here, including something called Scripts panel. Anything that goes inside the Scripts panel will show up in the Scripts panel in InDesign. I'll show you more of that in just a moment. There's also something called Startup Scripts. Any script that you put inside the Startup Scripts folder, it will run the script as soon as you launch InDesign. So if you have scripts that are designed to be run every time you launch InDesign, great, put them in there. You'll also notice several other folders in here, including something called Export as XHTML. We talked about this in an earlier chapter, but a lot of people don't realize that the Export as XHTML feature inside InDesign is actually a set of scripts that InDesign is running. You don't want to mess around with any of these folders, just ignore them for now. Let's look inside the Scripts panel. Inside your Scripts panel folder, you'll probably see just one thing, the Samples folder. InDesign CS3 ships with a number of sample scripts that you can use, and they're very helpful. I'll be showing some of those later in this movie and also the next movie. I also have a number of other scripts in my Scripts panel folder, including this Page Exporter Utility script and so on, and these are scripts that I downloaded from the internet and I installed simply by dragging into the Scripts panel folder. I do want to share one secret tip with you. If you have any old scripts that were probably written for InDesign CS or CS2, and they don't seem to work in CS3, well, here's what you should do. Make your own folder inside the Scripts panel folder and call it version 4.0 scripts. Any script that you put inside that folder, when you run it inside InDesign, well, InDesign says, oh, well, I'm going to run this in a special CS2 version layer and kind of emulate being CS2, and it will often work. That's only for scripts that don't seem to work in CS3, but that were written for a previous version. So that's a little secret trick there. Okay, now that we have our scripts installed inside the Scripts panel folder, how do we run them? Let's go back to InDesign, go to the Window menu, go to the Automation submenu, and choose Scripts. That opens the Scripts panel, which shows us all our scripts. Currently, we have two folders in here, Application and User. Any script that was installed in one of the User folders, on Mac or Windows, will show up here. And if I click this little triangle, you'll see that, well, actually, I don't have any scripts inside the User folder. Let's go look at the Application folder. Any script that was installed inside the Application folder will be listed here. Oh my goodness, you can see I have a lot of scripts in here, and also scripts inside of other folders. So I've got scripts and scripts inside of folders. I'm going to scroll down through this list until I get to the Samples folder, and I'll open the Samples folder. That's the folder that we saw inside the Scripts panel folder. I'll open the JavaScript, and you can see that I have a lot of free scripts that actually ship with InDesign. These all come with InDesign. You'll have these on your version too. By the way, I was scrolling through this list by using the scroll wheel on my mouse. You could also scroll through it using the scroll bar on the side. I'm going to run the Add Guide script, which will add guides around any object I have on my page. And I can see that by going out of preview mode into normal mode. We can see that this slide is just a graphic behind a text frame. I'm going to choose that text frame and run my script by double-clicking on it. It's very complicated, isn't it? Double-click on a script to run it. I'll double-click on it, and you can see that this particular script opens up a new dialog box, which gives me various options. And in this case, we can choose where do we want guides around our objects. We want them on the top and left and bottom. Let's go ahead and just leave these all to the defaults. I'm just going to click OK to run these all at the defaults. Click OK, and you can see that in an instant, in a split second, InDesign added all of those guides, or I should say, the script instructed InDesign to add guides around that object and right through the middle of the object. And you can see all the guides there on my page. Okay, now you know where to put your scripts and how to run them. In the next movie, we'll look at a handful of other scripts that can really make your life a lot easier.